song do you want to listen to? And they start screaming Zazu, Zazu. And I was stunned. And he said, no, that's not a good song. The lyrics are not good. You shouldn't listen to that kind of music. If you're a good dancer, you'll dance to any kind of music. And I thought that was really nice because I always worry about children dancing to inappropriate music from like the Naira
Mali
era. Thank you.
Era. Wow. So now the guy is in the past.
He is in the past. That doesn't seem like he's coming back.
So what do you consider good music or bad music?
I think music with questionable lyrics, music with sexually suggestive dance styles are not appropriate for children.
Okay, yeah, children.
I don't think anybody would argue any of that with you actually.
Moving on.
All right. So, yes, I have my co-anchors, but I also have a guest with us this morning. And our guest is an artist. His name is Kotrell. Hello, Kotrell. Welcome.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How about you?
Very well, thank you. Life is beautiful. Portable is free, in the words of Jay.
And the Timeless album 2 is popping. Meanwhile, we have something else on somebody else.
Right.
New music as well.
So, Kotrell, brand new music?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What kind of music do you do?
Okay, my music is very simple. Afro soul music. It's not so bound by genre, but just generally music that's emotionally provocative. So that's just where I like to dabble.
Okay.
Gang.
All right, so we're going to listen to Kotrell's Smile For Me. That's the title of the song. And then when we come back, the not so nice guys will do a review.
Ooh, I'm a nice guy.
The only not so nice guy is
Oris.
please.
Okay, you, the
Never
not so
forget
nice
that.
guy.
Haters in the studio too. Haters everywhere.
This is Kotrell with Smile For Me.
Zibby, your friends will make us look bad.
Leave your headphone on. You know, Zibby, if you want to play it out.
Oh yeah, let me do that.
Smile for me.
Sorry.
It did make my body to work and dance for me.
Another one.
Jam.
I want to see my baby shaka
I'm
dance for me. Me, I'm just a player, you're ready, so you write for
Just
me.
like normal.
Yeah, short for me. Oh my baby, money no free by this kind of love.
I have to put my this on mute. If not, no,
feel all the things I feel for you. Anything for
even there's a way if he doesn't, there's a way to you have to make sure that the clear his social media. Clear off his own page. Oh, that is crazy.
It's amazing to finally feel all the things I feel for you. Anything for
So it sounds up because of copyright equipment. So guys, that's why I'm going into, right?
anything for you. Oh yeah, anything.
Kotrell, smile for me. Can you smile? Fine, let's see if I can smile. Wow. Let me try. So what we see here? Just try.
Smile for me. Cause my baby, when you do, I don't feel like I'm ordinary. Sometimes it's kinda scary. I don't want to lose you forever. Yes, I choose you. I don't think I'm not my treasure.
I was enjoying the song actually.
Oh my baby, don't need to feel by this kind of love. I've been waiting to finally feel all the things I.
Okay, that was Kotrell with Smile For Me. I have to admit, though, I had to get a little warning like the song. I was enjoying it a bit too much. Anyways, all right, Kotrell, Smile For Me. Brilliant song. I really like that. But I'm going to hand it over to James and Oris to, review.
Okay, ladies first.
That is my line, baby. That's my line, baby.
All right, Lady Oris, go ahead.
James. I like this song. I don't think anybody can. Well, maybe some people, some sad people actually, might say this is not a good song, but I think this is it's a very, I think he said earlier, emotionally provocative, and I think that's entirely true. But I guess I have a question actually. While writing this song or while singing it, were you thinking of somebody in particular? Or it was just like a basic, for everybody, every woman in the world or something? What was the idea?
Is there any right or wrong answer?
You tell me.
You want to call a friend?
Because I don't want to spoil my market, so.
I think you've actually answered it.
Kotrell
You actually answered the question.
Nice one, nice one. I saw what you did there, trying to set me up. But yeah, I think because I wrote this song like over a year ago,
Okay.
and I started writing it like a bit before then.
So is she still in your life?
Why do you care so much? Are you trying to get her number, Oris?
Okay, so you see what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't even.
This is personal now. James, let's talk about this music.
That's trouble. Anyway, so for me, the music is, you know, if you go to your YouTube, by the way, you see I left a comment about how I felt about
I saw
music
it like that.
already. You know,
Wow.
I'm like, James's farm's in the game.
beautiful,
Oh my god.
beautiful music. So I've been a fan of Kotrell since the first time I was introduced to his music, actually by him. You know, he's
So,
been
Kotrell,
here
are you like
before.
an OG?
Not really, not really.
I mean, like, have you done music for a few years?
Yeah, I've done it for
Yeah,
you.
he was here
Alright,
actually
okay.
last year.
Yeah, so he's been here
Oh,
before.
okay, okay.
I don't know if it was last year or last year. Was it last year or last year? But he was
Yeah.
here earlier, and then that was when I was introduced to his music, and then I started following from there, and I've loved his music till this. So there are some people that we see, even, you know, I have to put Oris on this too, that we see as, when it comes to songwriting, we see as superior. Like, you know, we have, I'm sure if I call a few names, he will agree with me as well. And Kotrell has actually have found himself on that list for me when it comes to songwriting, when
Right.
it comes to vocal
Yeah, the
delivery,
delivery, exactly. Yeah.
total music, you know, craftsmanship. You know, when you listen to his music, it's not you can't even throw it under the bus and say, oh, you know, it starts from the production of the song, from what he's saying with the music, and how he's saying it,
Yeah.
and the voice and all the work. You can just feel the work put in it. One thing that we always talk about when it comes to quality of music like this is we always ask the question, how much are you selling? Just what I'm saying, that's always our concern with talented singers.
Yes.
You know, so it's different. You see some other person, no disrespect, you know, Portable throws in something there, and before you know, if you look at the numbers and it's going, and then, but when people who are, no disrespect, elite listeners listen, they'll be like, okay, yes, the song is popping,
Right.
songs
Okay,
everywhere, but
Kotrell,
no.
I want to ask you though, how has this journey for you with your music been so far? How do you connect with your listeners? Do you have, you know, do you host things where you serenade people, or do you attend like proper concerts, or is it just, are you focusing on perhaps the downloads or sales that way?
Oh, okay. I think like different artists like have different like parameters that they use to measure their own success.
Yeah.
For some people, it's streaming numbers. For some people, it's like social media clouds. And that for me, it's really in like live shows and how many people I can actually say, oh, these are my people
Right.
that know my music and I can sing along to it. The greatest part of like the music journey for me, the part that means the most to me, is when I see people connect to my music. So if it's at live shows and they're singing the lyrics back to me, oh, I'm so sorry. Or I'm getting voice notes or text like, oh, I connect in this music in this way. This makes me feel some type of thing. Last year I started being intentional about building like my community, because like there's lots of artists, you know, and there are just like so many people like around, and it's like new artists every day. So it's like, what's when it comes to it, like how many people are really your people?
Right.
So I started reaching out to people and like being intentional about it. And there's a good number of people like on there, and I just had them like send like all these voice notes just saying how they feel about the new music and it's out. And yesterday I was just listening to the voice notes and it just really got me emotional. You know, like I was just hearing all these things, you know, like my fiance, my mother, my partner, you know, it makes me feel this type of way. You know, all I really want is for them to smile for me. You know, when I just hear stuff like that, it's like
Oh my, you certainly have a way with words. That's for sure.
Ouch.
That is a good thing. That is certainly a good thing. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the industry, and I know these are your peers, but you're going to have to join us.
Okay, go for it.
Why do you sound like you're scared, Kotrell?
Kotrell seems like a nice guy.
Exactly. They don't want
Unlike
to
someone
offend.
I mean, he hasn't seen the script, so he has to say, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so let's talk about another comedy beef. It seems like the comedy beefs have been brewing for a few weeks now. Julius Agu, who's also a very well-known comedian here in Nigeria, was on a radio show, and he was asked his opinion on the Basket Mouth and AY saga. And he says he believes that it's a lot more that had been going on, not just about the 30,000 incidents. And he also says that AY stole his dates. Now, Julius Agu, according to him, he's been having this Laugh for Jesus Christ or Laugh for Christ's sake event for so many years.
On Easter,
Oh, cracky ribs.
on Easter,
No,
right?
Cracky Ribs is
Cracky.
different.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he had an event every Easter, I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, and that has always been the date. But he says AY now steps up and took that date. And when he called AY over the phone to say, "Dude, but you know this is my date," he says AY hung up on him.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah. I think that it is almost impossible, frankly, to have an industry that is lucrative in some way, but also has a limited amount of what's it called now, consumers, and not have stuff like this happen. It's almost impossible. So technically, as somebody in the studio was saying earlier, the sky is large enough for birds to fly. But truth of the matter is, maybe not every time, because again, there are probably going to be a number of shows every Easter or every Christmas or every whatever, and there's 2,000 people probably who like attending these shows. It means if you have two main events from two of the biggest stars, there's invariably going to be splits. So I think for Julius, just probably felt like I own those dates. If you're going to show up, you have to do maybe some other time, But then AY, who of course, as everybody knows, over the last few years has been on the ascendancy, I think he just pretty much, in quotes, hijacked it. And based on the fact that he's more famous, at least because Julius had his own time. But AY is a lot young, in terms of the industry years. So I think that's kind of what had happened. And I would imagine that, yes, he wasn't pleased about it. And now that he has a chance to say something, he's like, what? Let us take it. Exactly. Yeah.
So,
it's human
as
nature.
I understand the sentiment. I maintain that it's just sentiment. As far as I'm concerned, the sky is big enough for
It's not
everybody.
true. It's not
Now,
true.
What did AY do? AY picked a similar date or the same date.
Same date that he knew
That's-
that Julius had used for years.
Exactly.
I don't know about knowing that Julius used for whatever years, but as far as I'm concerned, this is business. We are all going to do our business. And today, Burna Boy can be having an event at a hotel. You can decide to have your own event at, take it to another place or whatever. Do you understand what I'm saying? Different venues. And we've had situations, even every Friday, clubs run every Friday. Do you understand? They don't say, oh, today is this club A's turn.
Actually, they do. That's the thing. They
Chill,
do. In
chill.
Ikoyi,
Even
they
on
have
Fri-
specific days for the big clubs. Yes, they do.
So, no, I don't. So that's not.
No, they are open
disagree.
every time, but people know, okay, on Wednesday, this is the
This
club
is
that's
the-
popping.
all right,
People-
okay.
They do, actually.
What do you
They
say?
do.
Clubs that are popping.
Yes.
Does not mean that other clubs is not open. But
No,
this
no.
one are the big clubs. So
No, but
now
it's
I
why they do
understand
that,
the
yes.
sentiment. I maintain that oh, he took my, but you cannot sit down after how many years? Nobody even remembers. That's what I'm saying. Which smile for Jesus Christ? I don't even remember. So
But that's
I
the
feel
point,
like, and
yes.
I say this not to disrespect any of them, but the question that was asked was for him to butt in on. And let me tell you, I always advise everybody, celebrity, artists, everybody. I will always advise you, if they ask you anything about your colleague, especially when it has to do with, they just want you to talk and to throw you, in the middle of the situation. Do not answer any question. Let them go and ask the person who's the subject of that particular conversation. But if you come and talk, you see, they'll just put you in a situation, and maybe Julius won't try to, just throw words, but like
He'll just
he
say his
said,
truth.
he now eventually had the opportunity.
Exactly. The
But
chance that
trust
he
me,
took it.
we are talking about it right now, right?
All right, Kotrell, what
That's
do
it.
you think though? I mean, you have live events where you have people, and I'm sure you probably have a few peers who do music similar to yours. Have you ever found yourself in that situation? Do you agree with Julius's perspective?
I mean, I feel like with every industry is different. Like, not entirely different, but it's also not exactly the same. Whether it's music or comedy, whether it's song release dates or concert dates. Especially if you share, I think it depends on like how much of a similar audience you share and the kind of relationship that you have with the person.
Exactly.
Because I imagine like if my close friend was having like a concert where like the same niche and the same day, I just imagine that I'd like to turn up, like support your stuff, and a turn up support man. So for this particular situation, I mean, he's said as much as he's said during the interview, but still there's stuff that's unsaid, and we don't. Yeah, but it's
Kotrell, what
true.
are you saying?
No, but it's true. I'm just trying to say that like we don't have
The full context.
Yeah, we don't
Yes.
have like the full context, like all the information. That's the stuff that is unsaid, like in the nature of their relationship,
Right.
or whatever.
Yes.
So I don't really have so much of an opinion
Okay.
until I know enough.
And chances are we probably will never.
This man is a diplomat,
He
actually.
is. Tayo says, all of a sudden, comics don't find each other's company funny.
It's true now.
Oh, wow.
When it's business, man, you know what? Ain't nobody laughing no more.
All right, Kotrell, this is for you and about the song Smile For Me. It says, this song is giving Rick Hassani vibes. I hope pressure from Nigerians wouldn't cause him to switch style and careers. Okay. What did I hear? Partner and fiance, are they different people? Yes, some people have partners, some people have fiance, some people
That
have
is true,
mothers.
actually. That is true.
Yes. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll go on to the break and we'll return in just a few clicks. Do stay with us. This is The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
My name is IBK Spaceship.
Why are you so diplomatic?
But he's right, but talk about it.
But it's true.
Sorry?
I think that
No, no,
if,
no.
if indeed
Oh, yeah, okay.
there's somebody in Kotrell's niche who is probably as popular as he is,
Yeah.
you want to be like, okay, on my own day,
Yeah.
come and support me. On your own day, I'll come. But if it happens at the same time, we are splitting out here. You guys only have 1,000 people. We are
So
not
let's
splitting
also
it.
look at it from this perspective.
It
That
ain't nice,
me,
man. It ain't nice.
as a comedy consumer,
Yeah.
I also have people that I prefer. So if you throw your event, let me say, and it's also about how powerful your marketing or how how substantial you are as a brand or as as a performer.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we're a lot. I swear down, we're a lot. So how about you also? Because
I
it's
feel like
competition.
with the
How about
community,
like,
we all support each other. Like one
We are all
person's
supposed to,
having
yeah,
the-
exactly.
that's what we
No,
assume.
and
We assume
everyone
that
does.
it's
But not
all
anymore,
competition.
not anymore. When
really?
sorry, when these people started their look at it now, the start of their careers. Bovi, by the way, used to be on something on a skit with AY.
The Who Wants to Be a
That
Millionaire.
exactly that never happens anymore. If everybody remembers that
Of
particular
course.
thing.
That's how I knew
Basket
both
Mouth,
of them.
yeah. Basket Mouth used to go to everybody. Bovi would probably go to everybody's show. He no longer goes to, he no longer does that. Basket Mouth will go and support maybe AY, but that no longer happens. The point is, when they finally become
Okay, we're
big,
going on.
this thing stop.
Damn, is it weird? I forgot we were streaming live.
Are you
This is the Grapevine on Smooth and 98.1. It's Zibby here and my co-anchors James and Oris, and we
Yeah.
have our special guest Kotrell. We listen to music from Kotrell. Smile for me.
okay?
Yeah. Hey, I'm just trying to pitch just in case Kotrell decides to have a record label.
Like the remix featuring Zibby.
Yes.
Zibby is on the mic.
Oh my god.
Okay, so let's talk about Falls now. Falls says he is basically not afraid of anything in this world or beyond it. In other words, he's not afraid of dying, and this is why he can actually sing these controversial songs. Now he has a new song which is very controversial and which we would not dive too much into, but yeah.
Why is Zibby?
Why
Why
what?
we not diving too much into this song?
Because this is an entertainment show.
Anyway, I think you're talking about I think now viral song. I can call the title, right?
Not particularly.
Okay, super. Anyway, that song. I think that this has
Are
always
we
been,
afraid to die?
this has
Why
always
can't we call
been-
it title of the song?
Yeah, we're afraid to die. Yes, I am afraid to die. Anyway, I think that this has always been Fawz's brand, and it's probably been a family brand now because of what his father did in the 90s. So
Still
I-
does.
yeah, exactly. So exactly right. So I think he has. I don't know about the death part, but I think that the music itself has always been something Fawz would do. I think he had an album a while ago called Moral Instruction, which was entirely activists or activists So I think this is the kind of person he is, and more strength to him because I think we need people like that. We have somebody else by the name of Burna Boy who is supposed to be like that, but I always feel like this man doesn't really back up anything he says. And I think for him, he's figured out it's a calculated attempt. I think for Fawz, it's kind of like you can tell in a way that his heart is in it. Burna is really just a song.
All right. What do you think,
I
James?
agree with him, honestly. I mean, I'm like, why you kubu woko? They ask me that kind of question. Yeah, I just say that. So, Fouls. If your father is, what's father again? Femi Falana. Honestly, in this country, and your father is also friends with the late Fela Kuti, who was very vocal, who was fearless, who even till now, his DNA is still flowing in the bloodstreams of his children, Sheung, Femi, Yeni. They are fearless. When they want to talk about the government, about anybody, they don't look at anybody's face. They just say it, and nobody, everybody, nobody goes to their house to go and arrest them or drag them. So.
I think that's because it's a democracy show, by the way.
Yeah,
Bro,
and possibly
let me
because
tell
they're still very cautious with the way that they use their words. They pass the message across. Yeah.
These guys don't. They don't.
So that's not
They
pass
hold
the message
nothing.
across.
They don't. They don't. They don't.
They don't.
They don't hold anything. They say everything. Have you forgotten when Sheung was dragging, with all due respect, the president's wife? Sheung came on social media and said, "See, I'm calling your name. Come and do whatever."
Oh,
and
right.
he was fearless about it until today. The boy is still walking around. Nobody's asking him any questions. And I feel like Fowles is also, and let's not forget, he's also a lawyer who I'm sure when he's talking or even with his music, he understands the premises of the law and even with the words he throws. So, and I know that people do, even with movies, you can enact a situation and use fictitious names and stuff. I'm sure he'll be able to defend a situation where he's calling the Iwainek. You know, but you get what I'm saying, though.
You just want to put Zib in trouble.
I
That's
am
your plan, right?
just saying,
Just like...
let's say the truth. Whether we are supposed to be watchdog of society and should be fearless about some of these things. It's what it is. It's in public space.
Xavier, you need a glass of water. It is 8:38 in the morning. You can't be this upset at 8:38 in the morning.
Man is angry.
Let him talk. Let's hear him.
No, so Xavier, what I'm gonna say is have a glass of water. Maybe put some lemons in it as well.
I need to see the
Oris
comments.
definitely needs some lemons in his water because he just coughed. But yeah, so have some water, breathe in, breathe out, and life will be beautiful again. All right, so let's talk about DJ Copy. Now, DJ Copy has launched a scholarship fund at Oxford. Now, she's a recent graduate, and she's decided that she's going to reach out and help other Black people who want to study at what is one of the best institutions in the world. And yeah, so it's £100,000.
Hi.
Money is good. Oh my God.
My goodness. And it's I think it's supposed to be for a single student. Which
I think spread.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for one person.
Yeah. I mean, how much is that?
I think I read it. I don't know.
Oh,
how much is what? Oxford?
Well, if you have the brains and you have the money. Or if you don't have the money.
Master, I think 1 year is about $70,000. Sorry, not pounds actually. So yeah.
You can apply for the Copy scholarship if you want to attend this school.
Please copy, I'm coming.
To copy the scholarship.
Beautiful gesture, and you know, she hasn't got to the point where I'm sure she'll sit with the VC or whatever they call the head of their institution. She's that big. She's a big deal, and I think it's something commendable. And this is what we always say. If you are in a place of opportunity, or it's okay to spread the love. So I'm sure, I don't know how they intend to spread that grant, and so I'm sure it might be something that will continue, maybe annually or every other time. But I mean, if your dad is...
Well, let's not talk about her dad, though. Let's talk about her as a person.
Wait,
I mean, she's doing
what
well
I'm
for
saying.
herself.
Yeah, but the question now is, are we saying that she couldn't have done this for a Nigerian university?
But that's a university that she attended. There's always that connection with.
Okay. Let me ask you that question.
I don't think that's the full story.
Are we saying that she could have schooled here in Nigeria?
Exactly.
Like that.
Well, she chose not to. But what about the Nigerian celebrities who attended Nigerian universities? Nigerian universities need funding. Why don't we hear of them do things like
this? Do you have
this?
celebrities that went to school?
Oris.
No, but let's with all due respect, we have to also not forget that.
Please, who went to school?
We actually have Nigerians that, I mean, Bobby went to his alma mater, Uniben, the primary school also.
I was in secondary school, primary school.
So he went there as well, and I'm sure he did something there too. People actually do, but not everybody is coming out to the public space to talk about it. But this is different. I'm not saying that. That
if we had schools on the level of Oxford, more people will be willing to do what is happening. The fact of the matter is, I hear Copy and I'm happy that she's doing it. But again, she wouldn't do this for the University of Benin, which is where I attended, by the way. Or,
Also,
because again,
Two-Face.
she's
Yeah.
not going to get as much mileage as if she's doing it for a school like Oxford. Because think about it, Oxford belongs to a particular space in the world imagination. University of Lagos, University of whatever it is, do not. So
But for
it is something she's
Nigerians
doing. But
in Nigeria,
yeah, she's in Nigeria. Why is she not in
yes.
Nigeria?
Well, Copy
Is her
went to
father's
school in
money
the
not from Nigeria? Please,
okay.
Zibby.
But we have to say this though, and I just want to sort of balance it. We have a lot of celebrities who attended Nigerian universities. If they are doing things for their universities and it's getting to the people that need it, we would know about it.
Zibby, you don't even
I
need to
agree.
attend a certain
I
school to do
To
something
do
for
something
them.
for them, exactly.
Two-Face, Two-Baba built a whole music department.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, I'm still saying that I'm sure, or I think that a lot of celebrities are doing the same thing, but it's not as
No.
like
I
you
think
said,
what's
not as
happening
heavy
is
or
the
as loud as.
Nigerian big man or
Yeah.
the Nigerian big woman is a low quality billionaire or millionaire. Honestly, very low quality. Because how many of what they are doing really affects, either the culture space, which is a place that actually needs a lot of funding, because you also need a lot of philanthropy of some sort to sustain like the arts system.
All right,
Because we are in a poor
Kotrell,
country.
what do you think though? Kotrell, you've been so quiet.
Kotrell, the diplomat, give
Yeah.
us your diplomatic take once again.
Nah, if you haven't noticed, I don't say too much generally, but like on this
On this
like,
show, you say.
okay,
You have to.
Zibby for you, I say anything.
Thank you.
Yeah, for me, I think when it comes to like acts of like benevolence like this, like I try not to calculate it too much. What she's doing, is it affecting somebody's life positively? Yes, that's enough for me.
Wow, a man of few words.
This man is going to. You're going to go to the United Nations. That's where you belong to. This guy, you're going to the UN.
He is a diplomat. All right, let's look at a few messages coming through. Bugbemi says, I'm not even sure Burna Boy considers himself a Nigerian. Re him singing socially conscious music. It never comes off as deep as Falls' socially conscious music does. That being said, I appreciate Falls' song for its message, but I don't really feel the song. Austin says, good morning. Falls is the main guy. He always stands for the truth and speaks against evil in Nigeria like his father. Other musicians imitate Fela in other not so pleasant ways. Okay. And Ima from Lagos says, Oris, do your own for Uniben. Nah.
Oris is not a billionaire. But wait, I think Bumi said something that's quite important in that stuff.
Right.
I think there's a big, not a big problem, but I think it's important to talk about songs that are socially conscious. How come very few of them really have a high musical quality? Because she's right. I do not think that if you're rating artistically the best 10, 20, 50 foul song, the current song would be in that list. And I always wonder about that. Why do we find it? And the person who can pull that off, by the way, is Burna Boy, which is sad, but also funny, because somehow he has managed to be able to, like, you take his social consciousness and his music, and somehow it makes like a pleasant piece of music.
Sure.
Fouls, though, it's almost like there are two different things. On the one hand, there's a conscious song that might not pop. Then the other, is friendly kind of songs. That
I
actually
think those
might
songs
successful
maybe are
about
not
it.
meant to pop. They're meant to pass a message. So the focus
No,
is
but-
more on the message.
Yeah, but the thing here is that it shouldn't be one or the other. Like I said, maybe only Timmy Dakolo actually has like songs that I feel like even his regular songs and those songs are kind of the same. When you're giving like less of your artistry to these songs, I feel like that's a big mistake.
So, just to add to what you're saying there now, there are some songs that are supposed to, like you said, they are supposed to be conscious music. But with someone like Burna Boy, there's a way he has quoted the music. You are just so engrossed and you forget, even or sometimes miss out on what exactly is the message is trying to pass because you just want to enjoy the music and just move on. Now there's a somebody mentioned what's his name? The other somebody compared you now to
Rikasani.
Rikasani. Rikasani has a song titled Thunder Fire You. So you're telling somebody Thunder Fire You and in that kind of tone.
James, James is going to give Zibby
I mean,
a heart
sue me.
attack.
I mean, I'm just saying it.
A heart
today.
attack.
Okay, let's read a few messages and hop on out because someone is about to strangle James this morning. OG from Amuo says, but she's donating for a scholarship. She isn't donating to build something in the school. Would you rather receive a scholarship to Uniben or Oxford, especially as fewer people can afford to go to Oxford? Xavier is back after drinking a few glasses of water.
Welcome back, Xavier.
And he says, henceforth, no one should put Falls and Burna Boy in the same sentence. Falls is miles ahead. I said what I said. And EK says, that's a man of a few words, that being Kotrell, will go places.
Amen to that.
That's that.
All right, but that is all the time that we have on the show this morning. Kotrell, really quickly, what are your social media handles?
Okay, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, the Kotrell, TheKotrell.
All right, James and Oris show on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yes.
still popping. Yeah.
All right, do stay with us. There's a lot more to come on the Smooth Breakfast. Lagos Talk starts up from 9 a.m. Stay with us.
Ah,
Bonus
Zibby,
round.
Zibby, 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 Zibby,